Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Barcelona reportedly have genuine interest in Liverpool forward Luis Diaz, with the Reds facing a transfer conundrum as they risk losing a host of their top forwards. The Colombian has been superb for the Reds since his move from FC Porto in 2022, scoring 37 times in 139 appearances, though there are fears the club could lose him. Diaz is said to be no closer to signing a new deal with his current contract expiring in just over 2 years' time, and Barcelona are waiting in the wings to pounce, according to The Athletic. Liverpool are already facing a difficult contract situation coming up this summer, knowing they are likely to lose Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk on free transfers, with negotiations at a stalemate as things stand. The club will be desperate to avoid a similar situation creeping up on them in the future, so they could be tempted to cash in on Diaz now before they risk losing him for nothing too. Diaz will be in his 30s by the time his deal expires, so Liverpool could be willing to accept an offer, especially given that they have other forwards such as Diogo Jota, Federicochiesa, Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez at their disposal. However, with Salah expected to depart on a free transfer and with transfer interest expected in Núñez, Slot could be dealt the dilemma, or whether he cashes in on Diaz and Núñez, in addition to losing Salah. Liverpool are 15 points clear at the top of the Premier League and look nailed on to win the title, but Slot will be reluctant to lose too much of his core group of players that helped the team romp to immediate success under his leadership. Diaz himself has had a fabulous season under the Dutchman, scoring 13 goals and assisting 4 in all competitions. It is claimed Liverpool have a number of options lined up in the event they do lose a couple of forwards in the summer, with Newcastle's Anthony Gordon linked with a move in the past. However, the former Everton star only just signed a new deal St James's Park in October, so any move for the 24-year-old looks unlikely. Alexander Isak has confidently declared that he can achieve all his football dreams at Newcastle United. Amidst heavy speculation linking him with Arsenal and Liverpool, the Sweden international was quizzed on whether he could fulfill his career ambitions at St James's Park, and his response was emphatic. "That's why I came here," he said. Isak, who has 3 years left on his Newcastle contract, confirmed that talks about his future will take place at the end of the season, with the Magpies eager to tie him down as some of Europe's biggest clubs circle. The 25-year-old has been on fire this season, scoring 22 goals in 32 games in all competitions. Speaking candidly ahead of Sunday's Carabao Cup final clash with Liverpool, Isak expressed his openness to future contract negotiations, telling reporters, "Yeah, as I have said, I am not really thinking about the summer yet. That will be a talking point when the season is finished. No talks have been held yet." When asked about his ambitions and whether he'd be able to achieve them at Newcastle, he said, that is why I came here. I have said many times that I don't really think too much about my future. I have said many times I am happy here, and we are competing for titles, which is what you want as a football player. We have been to one final, and now we are in another one. The chances are there. We should look at it one season at a time, and this season we can win a trophy. I have said many times I am focused on doing a job. All of our focus is on Sunday and bringing a trophy back. Isak also spoke about his personal goals, adding, "I just want to be the best version of myself. I have high ambitions. I am trying to create my own history at Newcastle. Happy with what I have done so far, but always looking forward. It's hard work and training and the mentality to want to get better. I have ambitions to achieve in my career and be the best version of myself." Newcastle have the chance to win their first major trophy since 1969 at Wembley this weekend, and Isak says he's feeling good and excited about the final. "The best way to prepare is to train as normal. It will come down to what we do as a team, and that is all we can focus on. I am excited but focused on the job," he insisted. When asked about Newcastle's 70-year domestic trophy drought, Isak remained undaunted. "I wish it wasn't that way. It means a lot that we have the chance to change that. We have to be focused on the game and not let the fact that the club hasn't won anything for a long time get to us. Isak has faced Liverpool 5 times in his career, scoring 3 goals. The latest was an absolutely stunning strike from outside the box during Newcastle's 3-3 draw with the Reds at St James's Park in December. Liverpool are preparing for the Carabao Cup final, and it means even more after midweek disappointment. The Reds crashed out of the Champions League in the round of 16 by losing on penalties to Paris Saint-Germain, who came to Anfield and claimed a 1-0 win in normal time to level the scores on aggregate. Misses from Darwin Núñez and Curtis-Jones made the difference, meaning that Arneslot and co. now only have domestic football to focus on. But there are much worse consolation prizes than being 15 points clear at the top of the Premier League table and facing Newcastle at Wembley. Slot's men are determined to retain the trophy, and it'd be their first piece of silverware under the Dutchman. Here's a roundup of the latest news from Anfield. Virgil van Dijk believes that Jarell Quansah is ready to step up and replacement Trent Alexander-Arnold after the Liverpool right-back was ruled out of Sunday's final. With Conor Bradley and Joe Gomez also out injured, Quansah is expected to fill in for Alexander-Arnold, who came off injured against PSG. Everyone who's on the bench or not starting has to try and make an impact, Van Dijk declared. I've not even spoken to Trent as I've not seen him yet. I've no idea what it is. If Jarell plays right back, then he has to do as best as he can do. He has shown tonight that he can do it. Antonee Robinson has poured cold water on links of a summer move to Liverpool. The Fulham left-back has been tipped to succeed Andy Robertson, having enjoyed an impressive season at Craven Cottage. But Robinson, 27, told ESPN regarding the speculation transfer rumours and stuff like that, I try not to look at, especially like with the Liverpool one, all my friends and family are from Liverpool, so it's more of them messaging me than me seeing newspaper stuff. And I have to say, look, it's just a story in the paper, and anyone who's doing well is going to get linked to a team. Dominik Szoboszlai has vowed to give everything to beat Newcastle 12 months after he was ruled out of the last Carabao Cup final through injury. Liverpool's number 8 missed last year's win against Chelsea, but he's relishing the chance to play at Wembley and lift a trophy. We are ready to fight, Szoboszlai told club media. You never know who is going to play, but it doesn't matter on our side who is playing in midfield. Everybody is ready to fight and everybody is ready to give everything for the team. With each milestone in Liverpool's season seems to come a new headline about the nagging issue which has hovered over it. After the Champions League exit to Paris Saint-Germain prompted a new round of contract questions, Virgil van Dijk's response that he had no idea if he'd still be at the club next season was the latest answer that caught the eye. The likelihood remains that he is, of course. But until any deal remains signed and sealed, there is a sense of uncertainty about how the extremely likely champions will look next season. It really is an odd situation that continues to play out. The smart money is still on Van Dijk and Mohamed Salah coming to an agreement and staying at Liverpool, with Trent Alexander-Arnold's future less certain as Real Madrid continue to hover. But as the clock and those contracts tick down, the possibility that all 3 players depart has to be considered. Perhaps they are simply asking for too much money or too many years on their deal for Liverpool's liking. Or maybe the Reds' hierarchy just want a clean slate for Arneslot to continue the fine work he's done so far. It's a fascinating situation, and one that will all unfold in the coming weeks. But what would the post-Van Dijk, Salah and Alexander-Arnold world look like? And how could Slot line up his team with some clever new additions? We've taken a look at the possibilities. Should the trio depart, then this is the area where there would be the biggest upheaval. And so that shouldn't be added to by shipping out Alisson and immediately installing Georgi Mamardashvili as the new number 1. At right-back, Conor Bradley can step forward and make starting spot his own, even if the Reds could do with signing some backup for him, while Ibrahima Konate will have to take on the mantle of the senior centre-back in any absence of Van Dijk. The rest of the defence could then be made up of some new additions, and specifically a double deal from sporting director Richard Hughes' former club Bournemouth, with centre-back Dean Huijsen and left-back Milos Kerkez both on the Reds' radar, Jarell Quansah, Andy Robertson and potentially Joe Gomez, if he doesn't want to leave, will all get their fair share of games too. The 2023 summer transfer window has to go down as one of Liverpool's best ever, with the complete midfield revamp they achieved now bearing fruit in terms of a likely Premier League title. Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai have all been vital to the Reds' efforts this season, and all of them deserve to keep their starting spots in the team for the next campaign. Curtis Jones and Harvey-Elliott will feature regularly too, and there's probably room for one more attacking midfielder given that goals will be lost from elsewhere. Wataru Endo could also stay, should he wish. How do you replace Salah? Well, in truth, you can't. Liverpool won't be able to bring in a right-sided, left-footed attacker of the Egyptians' quality who will hit the ground running, and so perhaps a compromise could be struck with a different approach. Luis Diaz hasn't often been seen on the right for Liverpool, simply because Salah is always there, but that could be an option for Slot, as he looks to go in a different direction, with Ben Doak available in reserve after his fine loan at Middlesbrough. Federicochiesa appears destined to depart. Cody Gakpo looks at home on the left of the attack and might thrive with more goal-scoring responsibility placed upon him. And then comes the big move at centre-forward, where a mega-money deal for Alexander Isak could completely change Liverpool's dimensions as the number 9 becomes the main goal-scorer. Time looks up for Darwin Núñez at Anfield, while Diogo Jota is still hampered with injuries, and so a big play in the market at number 9 seems necessary, whatever happens with Salah. And right now, there are few bigger moves than one for the Swede who could easily carry Salah's goal-scoring burden.